Hello everyone, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then subscribe to this channel. Brian Shaffer's Vanishing. It was the spring of 2006 when Brian Shaffer, a 27-year-old clinical understudy at Ohio State College, evaporated suddenly, abandoning a path of unanswered inquiries and tormenting murmurs that would reverberate through the ages. Brian, portrayed as active and popular with the people who knew him, had been commending the finish of the semester with companions at a well-known bar in Columbus, Ohio. In any case, what started as an evening of celebration and brotherhood, before long, took an evil turn, diving Brian into a secret from which he could never arise. As Brian and his companions showed up at the Terrible Fish Saloona, a bar situated close to the college grounds, they joined the crowds of understudies and local people, partaking in an evening to remember. In any case, as the night wore on, Brian became isolated from his companions, vanishing into the packed limits of the bar suddenly. Worried for his prosperity, Brian's companions looked through the bar high and low. However, there was no indication of a him anyplace. They brushed the streets outside, called his phone over and over. However, the entirety of their endeavors demonstrated worthless. Brian had basically evaporated like a phantom. As fresh insight about Brian's vanishing spread, it sent shockwaves through the local area, igniting a huge manhunt and a surge of tips and leads from concerned citizens anxious to assist with bringing him home. In any case, regardless of their earnest attempts, no hint of Brian was at any point found, abandoning just a void of uncertainty and hypothesis that appeared to become larger as time passes. Among those charmed by the mystery of Brian Shaffer's vanishing was Detective Emily Harris, a relentless specialist with a standing for solving the most baffling cases. From the second she first knew about Brian's disappearing, she was consumed by a sense of unease, a feeling that there was more going on than met the eye. As she dug further into the case, Harris uncovered a trap of curiosity and deception that stretched far beyond the boundaries of the Ugly Fish Saloona. Brian's companions, once believed to be innocent bystanders, became prime suspects in her investigation, their stories filled with inconsistencies and falsehoods that raised more questions than they answered. However, as Harris pressed them for answers, she encountered resistance every step of the way. Perhaps Brian's companions were hiding something, guarding a dark secret that threatened to unravel the fabric of their carefully constructed lives. Undaunted, Harris directed her focus toward the events leading up to Brian's disappearing, tracing his steps through the streets of Columbus and the crowded hallways of the bar. With each new clue, she uncovered a layer of deception more sinister than the last, a shadowy underworld of crime and corruption that lurked beneath the surface of the college town's vibrant facade. However, as Harris framed the truth, she found herself facing a formidable adversary, one whose reach extended far beyond the lines of Columbus. It was a mental chess match, with Harris trying to beat the clock to uncover the secrets of Brian Shaffer's vanishing before they were lost forever in the annals of history. Ultimately, Harris realized that the truth behind Brian Shaffer's vanishing may very well never be fully revealed. That the secrets he carried with him, a secret forever, would remain buried forever in the depths of the unexplored world. However, as she stood at the edge of the abyss, looking out at the sprawling cityscape before her, she couldn't help but feel a sense of closure wash over her. As Detective Emily Harris delved deeper into the investigation of Brian Shaffer's vanishing, she encountered a multitude of leads and possibilities, each one more perplexing than the last. One particular aspect of the case that piqued her curiosity was the surveillance footage from the Ugly Fish Saloona. Reviewing the footage frame by frame, Harris scrutinized every detail for any clue, any hint that could shed light on Brian's mysterious disappearing. However, despite countless hours of analysis, the footage yielded no answers, no sign of Brian entering or leaving the bar. Frustrated yet undeterred, Harris shifted her focus toward witnesses who had been present at the bar that fateful evening. Their testimonies depicted a jovial Brian enjoying himself with friends before mysteriously vanishing suddenly. However, as Harris probed further, she discovered inconsistencies and discrepancies that cast doubt on the reliability of their accounts. One witness, in particular, stood out a bouncer who claimed to have seen Brian outside the bar shortly before his vanishing. However, when pressed for further details, the bouncer's story began to unravel, revealing gaps and inconsistencies that raised questions about his credibility. As Harris continued her investigation, she uncovered a disturbing pattern of behavior among some of the bar's patrons, a pattern that suggested a darker underbelly lurking beneath the surface of the Ugly Fish Saloona. Reports of violence, drug use, and other illicit activities raised suspicions that Brian's vanishing might have been linked to something more sinister than a simple case of a man disappeared. However, as Harris delved deeper into the seedy world of Columbus nightlife, she encountered resistance every step of the way. Witnesses clam up, evidence vanished, and leads dried up, leaving her with more questions than answers. However, despite the challenges she faced, Harris wouldn't give up. To her, the case of Brian Shaffer's vanishing had become more than an investigation. It was a personal mission, a quest for justice that consumed her every waking moment. And as she continued, following every lead, chasing down every rumor, she began to uncover a trail of deceit and betrayal that led her to the heart of the mystery. It was a trail fraught with danger and uncertainty, but Harris knew that she had to follow it wherever it led, no matter the cost. Ultimately, Harris realized that the truth behind Brian Shaffer's vanishing may very well never be fully uncovered, that some secrets were simply too deep, too dark to ever be fully understood. But as she stood on the precipice of the unknown, looking out at the cityscape below, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. She knew that she had done everything in her power to uncover the truth, to shine a light into the darkest corners of the human soul and bring closure to those who had been left behind. And as long as she continued to fight for justice, she knew that Brian Shaffer would never be forgotten, his memory preserved forever in the annals of history. Thanks you for watching.